Hey, so LeBron just won a championship for Cleveland, man. You gonna win one for us, man? Cause I believe in you. Oh, hey there. You're watching James Carter TV.
Looking like a trouble when I walked in the building. That mean I got something expensive. Know my friends, they killing. All these hoes I'm killing.
Hello and welcome to James Carter TV. It's time for a minicamp report for the Tennessee Titans. This is my favorite team. That is why I'm doing it for this team and no other team. They get my special time and attention today. And we are going to talk about some very similar things that we talked about in my OTA report because it's kind of more of the same. But this is the last minicamp practice, whatever you want to call it, before training camp, which is over a month away. So it's just one more opportunity to talk Titans because we won't be able to really talk Titans for another month in terms of them actually doing something on the field. And there are some more headlines that I felt needed to be talked about and ironed out here. So let's get into them. First, Tajae Sharpe. Again, absolutely killing it, and now he's starting. That's right, Tajae Sharpe, the wide receiver we drafted in the 5th round out of University of Massachusetts, will be starting heading into training camp. He'll be starting opposite of Rishard Matthews with Kendall Wright in the slot, and you know what that means. DGB, currently the number 4 wide receiver on the wide receiver depth chart. Probably the most concerning thing for me heading into this season. Really concerning. I mean, we're talking about a guy that was our number 1 wide receiver last year for the later half of the year, but only because of injuries. Kendall Wright was injured, and people just stunk, like Harry Douglas and Justin Hunter and whatnot. But we brought in Rishard Matthews. He's better than him. Apparently, he's doing a better job than him. We know that at least. We know Tajae Sharpe, our 5th round rookie, is doing a better job than him. And we know Kendall Wright is still doing a better job than him. So we were talking about DGB. I was never really on board, but some people were talking about DGB potentially being a 1,000-yard receiver. Now I think he'll be lucky to hit 800 with all these guys in front of him. I think our wide receiving group in terms of yard distribution is going to be very even. I think you'd probably look at Rishard Matthews with about 900, Tajae Sharpe with about 800, Kendall Wright with about 800, 900, DGB maybe 600-700, Justin Hunter, if he makes the team, maybe like 200-300, and then Harry Douglas like 200-300. No 1,000-yard receivers. I don't think anyone is separating themselves from the pack. Or maybe Tajae Sharpe has a great rookie season and he gets 1,000 yards his rookie season. That would be fantastic. If anyone, I'm betting on him or Rishard Matthews to do it because they're the 2 wide receivers on the outside, unless if they really target Kendall Wright in the slot, which they could. We don't really know what to expect from Mike Malarkey and his offense. In the past, let's say with the Falcons, they had Julio Jones. He had Julio Jones with them for about a year. Or maybe not even that. I don't think he ever played with Julio, or he ever coached Julio Jones. Did he coach Julio Jones? I think he did for 1 year in 2011. He should have been the offensive coordinator for Julio Jones. So, they targeted him a good amount. I'm not sure if he had over 1,000 yards his rookie season, Julio Jones. He's either 900 or just over 1,000, not 1,200, 1,300, nothing crazy like that. They also had Roddy White, who I'm sure had over 1,000 yards. So outside guys. So he likes to target outside guys from what we've seen. In Pittsburgh, they had Antoine Randall and Hines Ward and a bunch of guys. So, I don't think we're going to have a dominant wide receiver this season. I think, we'll be fine. I think we should draft a wide receiver in the 1st round next year. And specifically, I think his name is Juju Smith. But anyway, the headline here is Tajae Sharpe starting heading into training camp. And some people want to believe that this is a scare tactic. They're trying to scare DGB into playing better. I don't buy it. I think he's just not good. And I think Tajae Sharpe is good. And it upsets me because DJB, you look at him, he's great physically. I also like his personality, his mentality. He's a good guy, nice guy. I follow him on Instagram. The guy's an upstanding guy. not very good when it comes to running routes, catching the football consistently, learning the playbook. He's just not very good at it. And maybe he's never going to be more than a number 3, maybe number 2 for us. We still need that number 1 wide receiver, and hopefully we can find it next year because I don't think we're going to find it this year. All right, so with that said, though, let's move on. Marcus Mariota. So again, apparently he looks great. DeMarco Murray is talking him up. And we know DeMarco Murray has been around a good number of quarterbacks. He's been around Tony Romo. He's been around Sam Bradford. So he knows a good quarterback when he sees one, I think. And he's saying that Marcus Mariota looks great. Everyone's saying he looks great. But this is something I needed to read. Go over to ESPN.com. If you don't look at Paul Kuharsky, the Titans reporter for ESPN.com, if you don't look at his articles, you should. He wrote an article, and it was criticizing Marcus Mariota's deep ball in the minicamp and OTA periods, and this is something I needed to read. Ever since the Tennessee Titans organization bought Jim Wyatt of the Tennessean, and yes, they bought him, and he blocked me on Twitter for saying that. Dude, they bought you. It's fine. You don't have to block me because I'm calling you out, because that's exactly what happened. They bought you out and they tell you to keep your mouth shut. So now Jim Wyatt is overrunning puff pieces for TitansOnline.com. We can't get any sort of rumors, any sort of truth to the matter when it comes to this organization. You go read Jim Wyatt's articles, you think the Tennessee Titans are the New England Patriots. And I need to know the truth of the matter. So Paul Kuharsky of ESPN.com writes an article saying Marcus Mariota's deep ball this offseason hasn't looked very good. You talk to Mike Malarkey, he says that he's accurate. He just wishes the wide receivers would make plays. I wasn't there. I can't tell you specifically what's going on, but I know Paul Kuharsky, he's not a quarterback expert, but I can believe that. We've seen it again and again. We saw it all last season. We saw it in practices off season. He's really extremely pinpoint accurate when it comes to anything within 20 yards. But once we go past that, once we throw outside of the numbers, there are some issues there. Now, I think you can win a Super Bowl without throwing the deep ball. Peyton Manning just did it. Tom Brady did it in 2014, excuse me. When was the last time you saw Tom Brady take a 7-step drop, haul one outside the numbers? He doesn't have the wide receivers for it. He doesn't have the arm for it, and they're still winning plenty of games. I don't think that's ever unnecessary or never needs to be a necessary part of your offense, but it's an issue, and it's an issue that needs to be cleaned up and fixed up. I mean, I think he has the arm talent. He has the arm strength. I mean, this is not Alex Smith that we're talking about. The guy's strong. The question is, maybe he's not reading his progressions in terms of where the wide receiver will be, in terms of, judging the wind or whatever. I don't know what it is. It's a problem. And it continues to be a problem, needs to be fixed. I still think he's very good. I mean, I question, though, if he's ever going to fix this, and he needs to fix this if he really wants to be great to me. We move on. Quinton Spain, the undrafted free agent last year who started a couple games at left guard to end the season. He is now still the starting left guard. That means to me, Jeremiah Poutasi, I think he's screwed. I don't think he's ever going to do anything for us in terms of anything worth a damn on the football field, because he wasn't worth anything last year at right tackle. They're moving him in the guard. He's not very good. You can chop this up. I'm starting to think maybe it's a little early. I don't care. I'll go ahead and write him off. I think this is another bust for under the Rustin Webster era. Luckily, we're done with that era. I'm fine with that. But, he's not very good. We move on, though. DeMarco Murray, he says he had a headline today talking to Pro Football Talk. He thinks that this is a great team. And this surprised me. It's a little bit of, players speak. Every player thinks that they are on a good team, but when you actually have a guy that came from a Cowboys team that was 12-4 a couple years ago, whatever record they went to the playoffs, went to the second round, could have won the damn Super Bowl, and to compare that with this situation, says this situation is absolutely exceeding his expectations, that this is a great team, that he has a big expectation for this season. I like hearing that from outside outside guys. If this was an inside guy like Avery Williamson or, any other team guy, Jarrell Casey, I wouldn't believe them because you've only been around this. Of course, this is better than what it's been. But I need someone from the outside coming in saying, yeah, we have a really good team here. I like hearing that from DeMarco Murray. Derrick Henry showing some pass catching abilities. I'm going to be really interested to see the split here, the running back split carry between Derrick Henry and DeMarco Murray. I think Murray will definitely end up with more rushing yards, rushing attempts, and all of that. But how much will Derrick Henry, how much production will he get? Right now, I'm projecting about 500 yards. But hey, he keeps getting on the field, and I'm hearing that he's running with the first team really often. I can't wait to go out to training camp and see what's going down and see where that split is, because it looks like it's going to be more and more 60-40 or 50-50 than we thought going into the off season. We move on to Mike Malarkey. Now, I was on the record when we hired Mike Malarkey. I thought it was a bad hire. But I said in that video, I think we're probably going to go, and this is just off the top of my head with no really evidence in terms of the talent we're going to get or we're going to keep or whatnot. We're probably going to go, this is a story, 7-9, 9-7, 8-8, fire him. I think that's probably going to be the story. Just because I don't think Mike Malarkey, when it comes to the brass tacks, and you have to play a game to get into the playoffs against Andy Reid or against Bill Belichick or against even Bill O'Brien, can he out-coach these guys? No way. And even if we make the playoffs, can he out-coach those guys to win? Oh, God. Sorry about that. To win a playoff game? I don't think so, man. And that's what really concerns me. And you also watch some of his press conferences. Man, sometimes I'm not sure if he knows what he's talking about. There was a draft press conference when he was talking about Kalen Reed, and he was saying he can also return kicks. And then John Robinson had to come in and say, no, that was the guy we just got off of undrafted free agency. And then he also has a lot of these mistakes in his press conferences where he is like, yeah, he's doing a good job, I guess, but we expect more from him and whatnot. And I just think the guy is not very good. I mean, I've seen no evidence. We'll see what happens when we get on the football field. But I just wanted to update you guys on my thoughts on Mike Malarkey. I still think he's an idiot. Just to be quite honest with you, he's not inspiring me at all. Oh, he also has these dumb competitions. I guess they're having fun with it, right? So he's having guys play like that, a rookie spelling bee, which is cute. That's fine. But he also has like a basketball match between Mariota and someone else. I can't remember who it was. Maybe Rashard Matthews or something like that. He also has like these random competitions that he just springs up. And then he also had one on the last minicamp day for the big boys. He had Chance Warmack and Angelo Blackson and some other big guys, offensive and defensive linemen, run a relay. And if they could run it under a minute, they would have the whole day off. And they did. And they had the whole day off. And it's not a big deal to me. But do we really need a day off? Because, man, we stink. We went 3-13 last year. I know it's a nice little, we get a day off, but F it, dude. This is the last practice we're going to have for a month and a half. Let's go hard right now, Malarkey. They don't need a day off right now. They need to be practicing. We went 3-13 last year, so I didn't love that. Maybe I'm just a no fun guy. If I was a head coach, I'd be like, no fun, whatever. I don't think I'm that. I'm just saying we stink. And, a lot of this fun little stuff I think is going to get us in a little bit of trouble. But I want to discuss with you guys, what are your expectations? Now, I'm already seeing some clowns, and I think they're clowns. I'm sorry, I do. Predicting that we're going to make the playoffs. I mean, come on, guys. We can't keep being that delusional. We've won 2 games and 3 games in the past 2 seasons. And we've had a good amount of changeover, but a lot of these guys are rookies. Derrick Henry's a rookie. Jack Conklin's a rookie. Kevin Dodd's a rookie. Austin Johnson's a rookie. Kevin Byard's a rookie. We brought in a good amount of free agents. Rashard Matthews is okay. He's not going to be great for us. You have a bunch of guys that are, Rashard Johnson, okay, he's not going to be great. a bunch of guys that are good players, no doubt. But to suggest we're going to make the playoffs, I think is ridiculous. I think it's irresponsible. I say max. I mean, in our division too, I think our division is going to be a little tough. I think the Colts are going to be decent. I think the Jaguars are going to be much improved. I think the Texans will be really tough for us to beat defensively, especially since, they're so really good defensively right now. So it's just ridiculous. Right now, I'm thinking 7-9, and I think that's rich because, again, we won 2 and 3 games. I can't even go over that. I mean, a best case scenario to me is probably 8-8 because you have to realize there's a big difference from where we were and where we want to be. The things, though, that can really pull us up is Marcus Mariota becoming an absolute beast, and he can. Boy, can he. He can definitely do that. He can definitely carry this offense. DeMarco Murray possibly running for maybe 1,400 yards. That would be a really good help. We're not going to have a 1,200-yard wide receiver, so forget about that. In terms of our defense, can they be a top 5 defense? I think it's possible. I don't like our corners. I think they stink. I think Jason McCourty's overrated. I don't think he was very good last year in the only 4 games he played. And the year before that, he wasn't good. He wasn't good in 2014. We were 2-14. He wasn't good. And now we're expecting him 2 years later to be good again. And I think that's very irresponsible. We're going to be wrong. I think Parrish Cox is below average. I think our rookies are to be determined. I think our secondary is bad. I think our linebackers are good. And I think that's the strength of our defense next to our defensive line, which is also stacking up to be pretty good. So I don't think we're going to be a top 5 defense. I think top 10, probably number 10. That's more of a fate that I can buy. We were 12th last year. I think 10th, 9th at best. That's around the ring we're talking about. And I think we're talking about a 7-9 football team. But tell me what you think down in the comments below. And until next time, James Carter TV, I'm out.